Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH. And this is the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. You can see I did not put episode number 427. I can see I did not put a space in between 427 and live. So I'll fix that later. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions. Sorry about the sound. Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And you're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And if you just scroll down just a little bit past Oak Island, you'll see my financial content. That's this show, the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. 420. Today is number 427, as I said. So 427 shows in that playlist. Pardon me. And the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist, and that was a weekend stream. I'm not currently doing that. That's on hiatus while I'm able to do an after show every single day after the Ramsey show ends. And the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Listen to those if you're so inclined. And tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day, I am not doing anything at all. So I will be doing an after show after the Ramsey show repeat is done on YouTube about 5:25 p.m. So if you're tired of your families by that point, you can certainly hop on the YouTube and take a listen and look. Market report. See what we got going on. Everything down today except the Russell, which is barely up. When it's a 0.0 something percent, that's a very low amount, but still better than negative, which the pink here is. All negative, so a little bit of pullback from yesterday's highs for everything. So another new high for the small cap index. So very good on them. And Europe mostly down, Asia mostly up. The US dollar is down to the euro, down to the Japanese yen, down to the British pound, love, down to the Canadian dollar, and also down to the Australian dollar. See what it look like futures look like. Much the same, down, down, down. So we'll see on Friday. I think they're back open on Friday. I can't remember if they are or not. The stock market. Do not recall. Let's see. No earnings reports for the next 14 days. The most followed single stocks on the Google. The only one up, Alphabet, 0.07%. All the rest down, which explains by S&P and NASDAQ would be down partially, at least anyway. Let's see what the news is like. Elon Musk publicized the names of government employees he wants to cut. It's terrifying federal workers. All right. Well, I mean, you got a bunch of people working there, I'm sure, that aren't really doing any necessary work. And so why do they need to keep their jobs? So, I mean, I don't know that you need to publicize the names of them, but definitely get in office and do that audit that he's promising. We'll see how that works out. I wouldn't even if they actually do want to do that, I wouldn't expect in the first year that they could go through it all and cut every unnecessary government employee. I wouldn't think that that would be possible. So, but as long as there's some, that's at least better than anybody else is doing, which is normally just growing government, which is too big already. Black Friday deals. Huge 15 trillion Bitcoin price bet. So I guess somebody put some more money into it then. And that helped stem the sudden crypto sell-off. Yeah, see, the problem is, and this is the very thing why Dave is not into it, because all it is based on this crap here. Is based on how the people that own the most of it manipulate it. And then if everybody else that owns it also goes along with a certain click group or whatever, the crypto bros, if they all go along with it and they are all in some Reddit subreddit and they all say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sell it all on blah 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 a day. And so, and not everybody that owns it sees that, and they don't sell, and then it's crashed. So that's a good reason to not get involved with it. Key Fed inflation gauge. There's PCE going sideways. Oh, I can't remember what PCE is. Sounds familiar though. I do have a related story to that though coming up. Now, S&P 500 Nasdaq slide after key Fed inflation gauge shows faltering progress. Yep, because they're not doing it fast enough. They're not lowering the rate fast enough. But again, I have a related story coming up. TSA approved hack that allows travelers to bring a bottle of water through airport security. All right, well, good job on publicizing that. CNN, good job. And me, I guess. Coffee its highest price since 1977. That's when Star Wars came out, so that's close to 50 years. In 2027, it'll be 50 years. Dry weather hitting supplies. Does it have to be? Does it have to have? They have to have water. I don't know how coffee grows. Nissan has 12 to 14 months left of what? They're going to go out of business. And yes, you really should toss that black plastic spatula. What's wrong with the black plastic spatula? All bad news today. And I think that's it though. So let's see what we got for news. CNBC, the Fed's preferred inflation gauge rises to 2.3% annually, meeting expectations. So it was 2%, and so now they're fine with 2.3%. What up, Aslan? Aslan, you working a half day on Friday? Or what's a half day on Friday? Personal consumption expenditures, that's what it is, PCE. Personal consumption expenditures price index increased 0.2% on the month and showed a 12-month inflation rate of 2.3%, both in line with expectations. All right. Oh, so that was just an expectation of it. That's not necessarily what they want. And what I thought they wanted, the goal they're trying to hit is 2%. And so they are just lowering the interest rate slowly to try to get to that point. The problem is if you have inflation also trying to go up and other concerns like supply chain and so forth, then that is going to hinder the efforts. And so, but they, for some reason, they just don't want to do any little bit too much. So that's why they are keeping it at 0.25% each time when they want to do that. We'll see if they do it again this year. Spending rose 0.4% on the month as forecast, while personal income jumped 0.6%, well above the 0.3 estimate. Okay, well that's good that income rose. Cool, cool, cool. And yes, I forgot to. Oh goodness, try to do too much. Back. New. Forgot to have this ready to go. I did have it ready to go yesterday. I think, didn't I? I think I did. So we got to go back some like 7 days. Oh, the stock market's half day on Friday. Okay, thank you, Aslan. Yeah, I did say that. I just completely forgot about it and could not tie it into what you were talking about. I appreciate it, though. Thank you. What to pay off first? Sell my house. That's yeah, okay. So they're gonna do what the payout first, and that's gonna be smallest to largest. So you're 33,000 first in the other debt. So you do smallest to largest of each of those debt that's in the other debt category. You don't pay off categories first either. You pay off the individual person you own the debt to, or company you own the debt to, rather. Don't think that it fit load 3005. Don't think I did that. College grad, new job upcoming. Long story short, okay, apparently. I'm looking at an 81.5K salary starting in June. Okay, we also, yeah, I did talk about this one because you looking at it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen. So, I mean, you can do your little calculations with it, it's fine, but you never know what could happen. June 2025, that sounds like you, oh, you're a grad already? Are you interning now? Oh, this was the one that moving back in with parents and stuff. Yeah, we did that one. Okay. Did that one. That's on yesterday's after show. If you're so inclined. But basically, it's like, no, don't do that or whatever you want to do. It was to live on his own instead of with parents. But a lot of people like to do that so they can save more money. The McChicken 12. Seeking advice for savings. Did I do that one? Working at Walmart while going to college. Yeah, this person was doing everything wrong as well. Crypto and investing and so forth. Tat Eraser, oh, extra savings as well. You shouldn't have extra savings. Tat Eraser going solo on goals. Currently in baby step 4 and haven't been able to get wife involved. Okay. Advice in Ken and Deloney. Did I do that one too? Would be helpful in my situation. I've been laser focused. Well, okay, had a call like that today where a wife complained that her husband wasn't involved. He just signs the checks and has her deal with it. Just gives her control of the money and lets her do it. And she feels like everything's on her to the point where she thought she had to sell a house that apparently she didn't have to sell. She wanted to sell it to get out from the burden of feeling all the debt herself. So that's definitely, you need to communicate and compromise with husband on finances. And if you can't do that, then it's time for definitely some counseling. Selling a house, it doesn't matter what the rate is for you to decide to sell it. You do it if you like it or not. Hope-filled, I did that one already. Surprise gift from work, did that already. Okay, sorry. Allocating finances, debt forgiveness, did that. Investment saving advice from Murky Water 10. I do not believe I did that. One moment, so rude. Sonic putting new items on the $1.99 menu, so you can look forward to that. Where were we? Oh, they're looking for investment saving advice. Okay. I'm a single 26-year-old male making 80K a year. I have no debt and currently am renting for $800 a month. That's not bad at all. I invest about 24% in retirement. I know this is high, yes. And save 17% in a money market account, excuse me, at 4.5%, 20K current. I would like to save up for 20% down on a starter home. That is approved. And so stop investing more than the 15%. Hence the money market account. Okay, that's what that's for, but don't invest more than the 15% then, and that way you can save up a larger down payment faster. But I'm not sure I will be ready to buy as I'm wanting to solidify where I settle down first. Yeah, okay, so that's no problem. Still, save up the down payment now so that way you have it when you are ready to pounce on that. Since that horizon is probably 3+ years out, it feels bad keeping that much money and saving at 4.5% when I could put it in the market making approximately 20% the last couple years, right? But it might not make any in the next year. There could be some kind of crash or something like that. And that's why you have to have a 5-year window if you're going to use the market as a piggy bank. So this would be a no. Even at 10%, that would be a lot more than 4.5%. Would it be worth? It would not, because again, that's too much risk for that. So the problem is you putting that in there, and in 3 years, you decide, oh, and you find the perfect house for you, your forever house, like people like to say all the time, and you find a perfect house for you, and then you can't take the money out because the market's crashed. You could take it out, but then that would lock in those losses. So again, you need to have 5 years in order to use the market as a piggy bank. Am peaking. All right, saving investing advice. Just to get down to it, okay, do that. We have $20,000 emergency fund. The only expense I have is finishing my degree, which will be about 2 to 3K. I have about 68K in savings. I would like to buy a house in the next few years, but I don't want to keep sitting on my savings. Any advice on other things to consider? No. And if you're not going to buy a house for 5 years, you can put that in the market if you'd like. But if you think you might buy a house before then you have to keep it liquid. And so then your high yield savings is going to be about the most interest you can get on it. So around a little under 5, or right around 5, that's going to be about the most you can expect from it. But then it definitely will not be below the amount that you put into it. Unlike the market, which could, in a less than 5-year period, be more likely to be down. So I understand wanting to chase every little cent. I get it. But it's not worth the risk to do that. Quad master balance transfer 1.9%. That's a no. Don't transfer balances. Don't do debt consolidation loans, because that makes you think you've done something, and then you take your foot off the gas. If you're worried enough about it to balance transfer it, then you'll stay worried enough about it to pay it off quickly and as fast as you can, and then the interest won't be a factor at that point. I have opportunity to do a balance transfer new. You see, 1.9% interest rate on balance transfer, and they also charge you a fee to do that, though. They don't do that for free. I currently owe $8K on a credit card paying 26% interest. Yeah, well, that's why you shouldn't have got a credit card in the first place. And so keep that, and that'll make you learn how to not do that anymore, and how that was a bad idea. Instead of moving it to this 1.9, and then all of a sudden you relax, and then your debt goes up again. Would it be smart for me to do this? No, that is not the Ramsey advice. I will be able to clear that balance within 8 months. You do it anyway within maybe not 8 months, but soon. After that, how much interest? I mean, it's still, how much money is on that? Doesn't say how much. Oh, 8K. It's only $8,000. Just pay it off. Cut your budget to the bone. Don't buy anything that's not 100% necessary, and do that. Then that is much smarter than doing a balance transfer or any kind of debt consolidation loan. No Fly 676 gift from Gamma. My mom wants to give each of her grandchildren $10K for long-term savings. Seems like the simplest thing to do is to add it to their existing 529s. Yeah. And then add what might be left after college to their future Roth IRAs. But the Utma via Vanguard is also rather tempting. Especially if it can sit there for decades. But that involves a little extra paperwork, right? Such as the kids having to fill out a tax form every year. Yeah. So that's it. as well, it's their money, right? At age 18, and they might spend it on Pokemon cards or whatever the equivalent might be, right? So they could choose to spend it on dumb stuff. And if you're counting that as their money, just put it in their savings account then. And that way they can have it. Just do a savings account for them. It can be a high yield. That's fine. They don't need a immediate access to it ever. So you can put it in a high yield savings account for them. And they can make about 5% on it. And then they can just take it out and spend it on something dumb. Or they can choose to use it for college if they are smart and actually going to college. So they can do that. So 529 or UTMA or something different. That's you know, you get the parent tag for a reason, so you get to make this decision as their parent. So because they can't open any of these accounts by themselves. What we do if someone gave 10K to your kid? Yeah, well, mine's an adult, so I would just let him, he would just get it directly. And so then he can choose whatever he wants to do with it. I would certainly advise one thing over the other, like college or something like that. If he was in college, I would say just hold on to it because you just never know. So, and this person's in baby step 5 and 6. Not really relevant for this, but yeah, so if you want them to be able to take it out whenever they want or when they become an adult, and they might not be going to college, so might not need it for that. So if you want it to be available for anything at any time, then that would just be like a savings account. Or the UTMA maybe you can do for that as well. And then they get it when they get full access to it when they are 18. Holy Grail of Mia. All right. How to handle a windfall? Well, as normal, the standard advice is, what up, Magical Elixir? Flu shot for Sid. Arm hurts. They do take a bite there in the arm. For sure. Less sore than getting the flu and being out for a week. That's right. Magical Elixir asking about the COVID booster. I never even got, I got the original shot. Because my son asked me to. Said he would feel better about life and stuff, so I did that. But didn't worry about getting any secondary one when about 4 or 5 months later they started screaming about, oh, you need to get a booster, you need to get more. So no thanks. And a bit fun. I didn't ever get it. I'm not really around that many people. I got it from a young lady at work who had it. And that was the only time I had it, and that was just this past year. I didn't even get it when it first came out, when it was cool, when it first came out. I was a later adopter of that. So behind on boosters. Stopped after my third one. Yeah. Magical Elixir stopped after the first, like I did. It's like, oh, why? Yeah, why? What is it needed for? They made a lot of assumptions for that, and so we need to deconstruct that playbook and not do that dumb crap again for no reason. Let's see. Carbs are for life. Well, they are pretty good, as well as sugar, but you gotta be able to, oh, I didn't go through this. Didn't do this one. Holy Grail for me, how to handle a windfall. You apply any extra money to whatever baby step you're on, and you keep going up the baby steps. Credit card 164,000. 2025 scholarship work payback plan 6262. Payment 206 twice a month catch up phase. Then 300. I just need to know how much I don't need to know the life story of all the debt. I just need to know how much. Anyway, you've got step 2 debt, so that's all I need to know at this point. And so that would be, if you don't have the $1,000, which is step 1, you would get the $1,000. You would keep that out of that windfall. And then you would apply every single cent of that windfall to baby step 2 until all your debts are paid off. Let's see what else we have. Just wants to say all that. Look at how many. Okay. That's a debt. Let's see. What are expenses? Funeral home payment. Not advised. How about just get insurance? Life insurance. For the amount you think it's going to cost. Probably cheaper. That's 0 interest. Let's see, $27.50 left. Oh, on the thing for the funeral home payment. Yeah, those are not advised. HOA $240. So that's an expense. That's not debt. Power $122. Wi-Fi $90. Cell $40 a month. You can get that down lower if that doesn't include you financing a freaking phone. Check into Mint Mobile or Visible. Mint Mobile uses the T-Mobile towers and Visible uses the Verizon towers. Groceries $600 a month for how many people? 600 excessive if it's just you. Car insurance $200 a month. Okay, but that wouldn't, see, that doesn't, your expenses, you have to be able to pay those out of your income. So all that, the expenses don't matter. Was in school past 2 years, so only made $32K take home for the year. All right, well, I just want to see if there's gonna be something weird. That, oh my goodness gracious. I mean, if there's an emergency, what does it say? My boyfriend got injured in July and had to get a total knee replacement. Okay, shouldn't be living with boyfriend. Finances should not be intertwined. And so, yeah, this is just way, way too much stuff. The lack of clarity, lack of communication. Oh, so he can solve it. None of that's your responsibility. You are out of that. You pay off your debt. Okay? You pay off all of your debt with any windfall. Yeah, that's way too much to read. Sorry. Don't need anywhere near that information. Car or for life. Car advice, looking to buy a car outright in cash. That is the only way. Are we irresponsible for purchasing this? Maybe. If you don't need it and you have baby step 2 debt, if you have non-mortgage debt, then you need to pay that off before upgrading car. Partner and I have a household income of about 200,000 bloody quid per year. We are 28 and 26 and own our 2-bed flat outright with no mortgage. Well, that's good. Currently, we have 2 vehicles, 2013 V-Dub and a 2019 V-Dub. We want to change the Polo for an estate car. I don't know what an estate car is. That might be some British slang, but don't want to finance lease. Well, guess what? You are in luck, because if you don't want to finance lease, you can just say no and save the money up for a car purchase, and you just buy with cash. So you just say no. If you don't want to, then you don't even bring it up as a saying you don't want to. You're just not going to do it. As we travel abroad a lot and don't like the high interest waste. We're looking at a 2022, 2023 Audi. No, that's a no. If you depends on the rest of your finances. So this, we would need some extra finance information. on this person, not as financing the car, but their actual finances, with around 10K miles on it. Okay, just 10K on a 2022, 2023. That's not bad, but the range around 25 to 30K. And so it just depends. We're irresponsible to purchase outright and keep for 6 to 8 years. So they're saying, is the 6 to 8 years to justify getting it? Well, we're going to keep it for 6 to 8 years. You don't know that. It could be a lemon and you have to get rid of it sooner. And it could all be a waste of money. So, but why upgrade? Why upgrade if you don't have to? If you're in baby step 7, you can do whatever you want. It just has to be bought for in cash, paid for in cash. And Dave's not going to say a new car, which this is not, unless you're a millionaire. So this is not, so that's fine as well. So you just have to do it in cash. And the we thing, again, partner, who knows if married, need to be married before doing anything together like this, like buying a freaking car or living together or having children together. Defiant Cockroach, 2099, looking for advise. Advise is the verb, so you're looking for advice. Renting an apartment with a low credit score. Yeah, you just have to be able to show them that you have paid your rent where you're renting now, or any kind of payment history you have with anything, like utilities or like anything you can show where you have paid it consistently over months or years even. Let's see. Looking to rent. I'm about to be 22 and I'm still living with parents. Hoping to do this by the end of 2025 at the latest. Living in Buffalo, New York. So yeah, if you haven't been paying anything at all except debt, except a credit card, and it's a low credit score because you screwed up and were late or something like that, you may have a hard time getting an apartment. The problem is not interacting with debt at all and having an indeterminate credit score, but you can still show payment history. The problem is if you try debt and screw up with it, and then you mess yourself up there, and then you also have no payment history. So why would they rent to you? So it's your fault. I worked almost a full year. My credit score is 545 from a single credit card that I put aside, paying off for about a year with a 300 limit. Single credit card that I put aside, paying off for about a year with 300 limit. And then you used it again or what? I am financing a car, paying 280 bi-weekly for 3 years. Okay, so if you can show that, and by the time by the end of 2025, you will have over a year of paying on that. So you can show that. And the car insurance as well. Yeah, phone bill, all of that you can show that you have paid that without missing any payments. Hopefully you have not missed any and do not miss any going forward. I just need some advice to dig myself out of this hole because right now it seems like a stretch to start renting. Well, you're not going to do it until the end of, you got a whole year, 13 months. So get your payment act together for the next 13 months, and then it'll be fine. I plan on using my tax return to start an automotive locksmith business in February. Not advised. Not advised. Don't spend money to start a business that you have no idea if it will even pay for itself for what you're going to put into it. So yeah, most businesses fail. So I would not do that. The only way I would start a business if it doesn't cost you any money, because you are trying to save money to move out too, I'm assuming. And the credit card, if it's paid off already, if that's what you're saying, the card that I put aside paying off for about a year with a $300 limit. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means it's paid off or not. If not, pay off your card. If you get a bunch of money back every year on tax return, adjust your withholding to you so you get that money through the year instead of giving the government an interest-free loan on that money, and then thinking it's a big deal when you get the money back. You can do much better if you get the money out of each paycheck instead of at one time after tax day. So yeah, that's just what you got to do. You got 13 months, so just pay everything on time. Get rid of that card if it's paid off. If it's not paid off, pay it off and then get rid of the card. And don't worry about credit score ever again. Just keep your payment history clean, and then people will rent to you. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I got the whatever the one shot was. I didn't get the two shot series one. I can't remember what they were. What up, AJ? How's it going, sir? I don't even remember the two different types, but I got the one that was good. That was supposed to be the only one you got, and then all of a sudden, about 3 or 4 months later, they would say, "Oh, you need a booster. Get your booster." Not gonna do it. Didn't do it. Still alive. Got the pandy as well. Still alive. Sell home to get out of debt sometimes. A Kent 2225C. Lady on the show today called wanting to sell her house so that she didn't feel so much pressure of being under all that debt. She wanted to move down in house, I guess by about $100,000 or something like that. And so because her husband didn't participate in the finances, and so she had all the weight of all their debt on them. So that's their problem, not the house necessarily. And it would be, generally, to sell the house to get out of debt, if you can rent like a smaller, cheaper place for significantly less than the mortgage payment, then it's something you should consider for sure. But let's see, past year a few things happened. Got the really long ones today. Oh no, that's not that bad. A few things happened. I was diagnosed with cancer. That does suck. My startup failed. That does suck. And that's why you don't do startups. That's why you don't do businesses. Unless you are in good financial standing, and you could just as easily burn up that money as much as invested into your business. So, but everybody puts their last dollar into it, and then shocker, most new businesses fail. So it's not a shocker. You should expect it. So that's why it has to be money that you do not need. And I've had very little income. Well, you got to get a job. I understand with cancer, that's difficult to do. Because that's a whole job, fighting that thing off, I'm sure. I've had very little income. Between taxes and personal and business debt, we owe almost $200,000, right? Which is why I don't even want to know how much you put into the business that had a very good chance of failing and actually did. So shouldn't have done that. But now you know. If we sell our rental, it's a rental. Then yes, duh. Of course. You're not supposed to have a rental while you have personal debt or even business debt that you're responsible for. You're not supposed to have a rental. So yeah, clear about $600,000. Yes, sell it today. We will then pay all debt, put money in savings, put more money towards college savings for a daughter. Yeah. We will also have money. Right. Having that rental isn't doing it for you. You need to get rid of all that debt and have a full emergency fund. We also have money to. We will also have money to buy again in the future. Yeah, once you get your finances straight. Um, we have to sell now to claim exemptions for capital gains. Okay, that's fine. The home was financed at less than 3% interest. Rental market is strong. Rents for more than the mortgage. I mean, that doesn't matter. You said you. Didn't you say it was paid for? Oh no, it was we will clear that much. Yeah, so that $100, $200, how much? Even if it was $500 more than the mortgage, that's not helping you. That's too much debt. This rental is the only home we own right now as we rent a home out of state. Okay, yeah, sell it today. Too late today, and tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so probably got to wait till Friday. This was 3 days ago. Hopefully, it's already listed. 56 replies there. Husband has good income, and I plan to return to work in New Year as my treatment ends. Okay, hopefully kicking cancer's ass. Hopefully. And the debt is really challenging to manage. Yep, and that's why you don't do that. That's why you buy rental properties in cashish. But we pay our bills each month, but can't pay off with current income. Right. Because you shouldn't have done it in the first place. Do we sell the house? Yes. And get a fresh start? Yes. Or keep renting it and find another way? No, that is the way. This is the way. I'm in my 50s and husband late 40s. I need some money in retirement too. What do we do? Thanks for input. You sell that house and then you go up the baby steps with that money. Clear about $6,000. So you start with step 1, done immediately. Step 2, debt and personal and business. Oh, also have overdue taxes, looks like. Or maybe just talking about taxes for 2024. Maybe. But maybe taxes are overdue as well. So yeah, you take care of all of that. And seems like you would still have, hopefully, at least $3,000 left. Or 300,000, excuse me. And so that would take care of your full emergency fund. You can max out if you get it sold before the end of the year. You can donate. You can contribute to investing for 2024, and then on January 1st you can max out 2025. So you do that, and then it says college savings for daughter. So that hopefully would be all taken up as well. Don't need to go to a private college for sure. And so that seems like that would be it. And then you can save the rest for a down payment to buy again, should you choose to do that. So yeah, that's a fabulous idea. It is not worth staying on baby step 2 to keep a rental house that doesn't sound like you're making that much per month on anyway. So yeah, it's not worth staying on baby step 2 when you can be on baby step 7 until you decide to go back into 3B and save up down payment again. Unless you would have enough for a down payment already. Mr. Sid just got home. Tell Mr. Sid, and of course for yourself, Sid, happy Thanksgiving. And again, as a reminder, I have 0 plans for Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. So I will be doing an after show at 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time when the Ramsey Show replay is over on the YouTube. Then I will start on the YouTube. Oh, that's from Emirates 2. Once in a lifetime, water going under, something like that. Little pitchy. Once in a lifetime adventure or financial misstep. I'm gonna go ahead and say financial misstep. Let's go ahead and break it out. I'll be financing my medical training next July. That's a no. Oh, finishing, excuse me. See, and I always think the worst of the people. I'll be finishing my medical training next July. Great. And come October, I'm set to start a job with a salary of just over $800,000. Well, that's fabulous. But guess what? You're not finished until July. You may not finish for any number of reasons. Not everybody finishes said medical training. Also, and then why does it take until October? Why does it take until October to get a job? Well, for whatever reason so I have so many questions always. I always have challenges for the way that people think, because the way people think, it's like, okay, well, I'm in medical training, so, and this is how it goes. It's going to exactly go like this. I'm going to graduate for sure because I'm smart enough. I will get everything done the way I need to do, and I will graduate and be certified or whatever else. And then, even though I'm not explaining what happens between July and October, why I can't work earlier than that, then I'll get a job of 800K. Now, where did that information come from? Did that information come from a fellow student on that's what they heard? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, where do you actually have the job offer from a actual medical facility? So I would challenge all of that. So you can't count on that. So since this is not 100% guaranteed, you do not get to base your life on that. That's a no. Here's the thing. Oh, thanks for telling me the thing. This is kind of like to be honest, you don't need that there. You can just start with, this summer is likely the last time before retirement that my wife and I will have the amount of time off to travel. Justification station here. The last time before retirement ever, you can't ever take time off to travel. How old are you just doing medical training now? How old? So I would need to know the age, first of all, to know if this is bull crap. And of course, the younger you are, the more full of crap you are, thinking that you know how everything's going to work out. And people, and they tend to over exaggerate. Granted, olds can over exaggerate as well. But, this will be the last time before retirement that my wife and I will have time. Really? Uh-huh. Okay. So, but again, because you don't know that all of this is true, is going to happen in the future, like Yoda says, always in motion is the future. So you can't go by that. Let's see. Considering a trip or two, before I start my job, we've been dreaming. Is this why there's a break between July and October, because you want to take a trip instead of get your ass to work? Is that why? So that's not going to fly with me either. I've been dreaming about it, but making it happen would mean spending 20, 30K on travel money we likely won't have in cash by then. Then that's a no. So let's take a brief look at the baby steps again. Now, it's not on here, but part of baby steps 2 is that baby step 0, is that you are deciding that debt is dumb and you're going to pay off what freaking debt you have, and you're not going to take out any more ever. You're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit, so I can only assume that you have to be aware of that. And that's why he's saying once in a lifetime adventure or financial misstep. You do not break a baby step. You do not go into debt for a now thing, a live in the now thing, a once in a lifetime adventure. You do not do that. That is dumb, especially because you are not 100% sure that you're going to be making 800K a year, or that you're even going to graduate medical training. All right, currently we're living on a tight 70K salary. The final year of training, we've done well so far. No debt, great. Not even student loans. That part's great. Car fully paid off, great. 150K in retirement savings and 50K in general savings. Well, that's great, all great too. But by next summer, that cushion will likely be minimal. So here's our question. Would it be crazy to finance anything? Yes, anything. It doesn't matter. We can get rid of all of that. Would it be crazy to finance something? Yes, it would be. So that's a no. Too long didn't read. Too long didn't read. TLDR. Despite not having the cash, are we crazy to spend 20, 30K on travel after I graduate fellowship with knowing I'll be making, you don't know that for sure, a couple months after. So that is not 100% guaranteed. You still have to graduate the training. That is so dumb of you. Since we got it open, let's look at some of the stuff. Life is short. Take the trip. Enjoy the time with your wife. No, that's bull crap. Couldn't imagine a worst possible idea. That's more in line with me. All debt is evil. Yep. Work the steps. If it were me, I'd say no. 800K USD. That's significant. Right. The top radiologist with decades of experience around here doesn't make that much right. So I would be hesitant on that to believe that. Anyway, regardless of him saying it's going to happen for sure. Are you guaranteed tomorrow? Most of us are not. That is true. But that doesn't mean you finance anything either. Do it. General advice would be no, and that's all you got to do. Again, people keep going, they keep typing too much stuff after where there should be a period. The general advice would be no. Done. You sound like you have the discipline. That's a no for assuming somebody has the discipline. If they had the discipline, they would discipline themselves and not do this crap until they were in better financial position. Name the specialty, dude. That's right. People not buying it. Do it, no question. No, I have questions. What medical specialty? Right. Family doctor, and he only makes 300K. That's right. Waiting to see surgeons, maybe. And take that trip. Life is too short. No, it's not. Do it again. If you're asking the Dave Ramsey crowd, right? What do you expect on Dave Ramsey crowd? But I mean, he got a bunch of yeses, so go ahead and take it. So if he wanted to do that, yeah, I'll probably lead him to justify other credit purchases in the future. Yep. Yep, because then it'll be for something else that you don't have the money for. Well, I'm not quite making 800,000 yet. I'm starting at 70,000, that kind of thing. Even if it's 300K salary at the moment, they don't have debt. And if they find a small place to live, and if that's a lot of ifs, that's too many ifs. That's too many ifs. They're not in a house already and have that job already. They don't have that, and they would have to finance it. If it's paying cash for it, that would be a different thing. Paying cash, and on step 4 means you can put trips in the budget. You can do that. It doesn't say you can't do that in baby step 1 or 2 or even 3. Sounds like they got 3 done, but there's no job is the main problem here. So you got to be in the job making that money and also be in step 4. And then at that point, then you get to put it in the budget, but not before then. People are nutty, man. But you saw how many, it seemed like there was more people telling them to do it than not. Because they just like focus on 1 or 2 things. They don't look at the big picture. They focus on the 800K or you know, the fact that they do have some in retirement and they do have a emergency fund apparently. But yeah, but no job. You don't have a permanent job after October. And it sounds like taking that time in between graduating, and the job so that you can go on the dumb vacation and finance it. So good luck to them. We'll see. See how that works out. Actually, we won't see. We won't get closure on that one. But, don't wish ill upon anybody, even people doing it wrong. Sid says, when you own a medical practice, you can choose to take no appointments for 2 months if you want to travel. Yeah, I don't think he was going to open his own. It didn't say anything about opening his own, but that's even worse. If he's opening his own, there's not going to be clients right away. Yeah. Alrighty. Add glittering 4653 rule of thumb on how much to keep in savings / emergency fund past baby step 3. The emergency fund stays the same the whole time. You do not save extra. Now, if you need to, my go-to is to buy tires. Tires do wear out. You do have to buy tires. So if you know you're going to have to buy tires in the next 2 years, start a sinking fund for that. The problem is people like to have a whole bunch of money sitting around in savings, not being applied to the baby steps, just in case they want to buy something. Let's see. Hi, everyone. Hi, guys. I know that baby steps 3 suggests having 3 to 6 months in expenses saved in an emergency fund, period. And again, that's all we need. Why do you need to go past that? I also know that this is a starting point where one might want more in savings emergency fund over time. Tough crap. You don't get it. No. You have a maximum 6 months of emergency fund in savings until the house is paid off. If you are just renting, fine, you're in baby step 7, fine. Have whatever amount of savings / emergency fund you want. But if there are baby steps left to do, then that's a no. And people are dumb for thinking otherwise. I don't know how you could think otherwise. It does not say, and then add to it. In step 3, it doesn't say 3 to 6 months of living expenses and then add to it. It doesn't say that anywhere. So I don't know. Don't know why they think that. People just put what they want to do and think that's part of the baby steps. Let's see. Might want to have more in emergency fund over time, and you can once you get to step 7. Before step 7, you have things to do with that money. So again, once you're in step 4, you can budget things like vacation. So, and you can cash flow it out of that particular month, or you can do a sinking fund so you have enough money to go on vacation. You can put like $100 a month for 2 years, and then you can go on that vacation in 2 years, or however much per month you have to do. That was just an example. So, but you can plan that in step 7. But there's not a just add to the emergency fund or savings, extra savings, instead of doing the further baby steps. That would be a no. The idea is to get through the baby steps to step 7, and then you can have, money just laying around, which you shouldn't do that either, because why would you have hundreds of $1,000s sitting liquid when you could put that in the market and make more money on it? Again, that's only step 7 thing, but that is how you build wealth and have a lot of it to give away. I'm looking online for general guidelines on how much people should ideally have in savings by age. It doesn't matter because they don't have the same expenses as you. You don't need to compare yourself to other people in your age group. That is dumb as well. You need to go by your financial numbers and what baby step you're on if you're going to follow Dave's advice. If you're not going to follow Dave's advice, you can do whatever the crap you want to. On how much someone should have saved up for retirement for that point. Just go by what you want to have in retirement and see if it's enough that you're on your way. You can do this all without comparing yourself to anybody else. let's say at 28 years old, I have 25K in savings and 6 months expenses. That doesn't mean anything because that doesn't say what your expenses are going to be. That doesn't say how much you want to have in retirement. So you have to go by that. Go by what you think your expenses will be in retirement and what you want to have by the time you retire, and then work backwards from that. And that doesn't involve comparing you with anybody. How much would you personally feel comfortable keeping in a liquid emergency fund slash savings as you age, not retirement investments? Well, again, you don't have more than 6 months of expenses because you need to get the rest of the steps done, one of which is paying off the freaking mortgage. And then guess what? You think not having a mortgage payment or rent will help you in retirement? Yes, it will. That frees up that amount of money per month. Assuming all debts are paid, what liquid emergency fund? At that point, it's up to you. I mean, if you have the house paid off too, and you have all the baby steps done, you've got investing happening, kid college is either not an issue or you've taken care of it, and you've paid off that mortgage, then you can do whatever the frick you want with your money. You've earned the right at that point to do whatever you want, and you can, even though it's dumb, you can have hundreds of thousands of dollars in liquid cash in a regular savings account or a high yield savings account. I would probably invest most of that, but you can do whatever you want with that. Time is alrighty. Once again, I am Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you've got money problems, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me. As I reset my plug, ticker at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can also email me if you have any questions about coaching or anything else on my channel. That's coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, the Cash App, $Coach Steve Money, or Walmart gift card to Coach Steve Money at gmail.com. Upcoming streams Monday through Friday. Every week, so until further notice, I'll be doing the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, and that includes a special Thanksgiving Day one tomorrow. And I'll try to come up with something fun since there won't be a market report. Market report. There'll be a half-day market report on Friday. And so, 5:25 p.m. daily, Monday through Thursday, including tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. All right, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and commenting. And if you've done those things already, many thanks for doing so. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. Yep. Knock something over again.